These telepathic historians conduct their research by retrieving long-forgotten memories.
Historians.
Oh, Keiko.
Oh!
I can see it, but I don't remember anything else about it.
When you see it, do you hear any sounds?
I think she had that post-birth depression disorder. Hope not. Sounds terrible.
Try to touch the cup.
Okay.
A liquid. Dark.
Tea?
Like tea?
Earl Grey, hot. Think she has repressed childhood memories here?
That's what I was thinking. They should bring up everyone's trauma to deal with it.
A wooden handle.
A spoon?
No, it's more delicate than that.
Whoa.
It's a paintbrush.
A brush. An ink brush.
We're gonna get to see a child Keiko.
For years, I've seen that old cup in my memory, but I could never remember what it was or why it was important.
She's a great actress. That was good.
Rosalind Chow, yes, she's very good.
You know you're not supposed to probe someone's memory unless they've given you permission.
You are right. But sometimes, with a beautiful woman, I cannot help myself.
It's not good. It's not good. Oh, I thought you were just walking away from him.
Oh, no. This guy like, oh, I hate my job.
Yeah, it's one of those, I have to do something I don't want to do.
The hook is, ooh, this guy's probably sinister because of how we looked at him. But no, I really liked that.
Yeah, they gave the opening scene to Keiko, and the way she was describing the scene and talking about it, it didn't feel like she was remembering words off a page at all. It felt like she was genuinely excited about remembering this. That was amazing.
And then even like the guy, like I know he did the little thing towards Beverly, but even that, it didn't come off to me at least like creepy or pervy. It was just like, oh, you know, there's a little charm to it.
Violation.
Oh, he violated her.
Oh, yes, he did.
Whoa.
You record every second of every moment of your life.
That is correct.
Oh, can he go back?
Each memory is encoded in chains of molecules. If you want to retrieve it, you simply access the proper RNA sequence.
I wish.
No, it's not.
I have no recollection of how I spent my last birthday. Birthdays are important occasions, and you would think that I'd remember how I spent the day.
Neither do I.
I was at work. Full time. It was a Tuesday.
Perhaps you remember the pleasant memories and forget the unpleasant ones.
No, sometimes the bad memories can be the most intense of all.
It's weird how they've never talked about memory before with Data. Oh, God! Oh.
Everyone come in here!
You want to write something?
I'd be happy to probe your recollections, Captain. Most people find it an enjoyable experience.
No.
I'm sure.
I'm sure you'd be ideal, and you must have some intriguing memories.
We won't be on your ship for long.
What if he was like an
Tom,
underground fight club?
We mustn't influence people. We must let them come to us.
I wonder,
willing.
like, do they choose the memory? You know what I mean?
That's a good point, yeah.
Mr. War, I would love to explore Klingon memories.
I don't have memories.
Klingons do not allow themselves to be probed. Well, Commander LaForge, you.
I don't think so. Thanks anyway.
I wonder how Troy would react to these people.
Oh, yeah, good point. Is she here?
Commander Riker?
Mr. Tarman, are
Oh.
all
Oh,
unions
sure thing.
able to read memories?
Oh, no, my dear. Once, Jev spent 2 days with a contingent of elderly Gentons. He couldn't get anything from them. I spent only 1 hour with them and retrieved a fragment from the Gentonian trade wars.
Excuse me.
Calm down, dude. Can't throw him under the bus.
I don't think he wants to be one of them, maybe. Why is he so pissed? Is his dad embarrassing him, or does he not like doing this?
Jeff?
Oh, Counselor Troy, 3 for 3. Let's go.
It's not easy having an overbearing parent. Believe me, I know how you feel. Oh, I can't read Julian's, but I do know a certain Betazoid mother who is a great deal like your father.
Wonder why she can't read them. Plot convenience?
I've learned to
No.
remind myself that
Brain.
my mother and I are 2 separate individuals.
Whatever.
And have you enjoyed much success with this approach, Counselor?
No.
Good night, Counselor, and thank you.
Oh, can we talk about Rosalind Chow being in this and no Colomini?
Oh, yeah. She's really growing onto the show. Oh. Oh, she remembering something?
Oh, boy. Violation.
Can they, like, feel when someone's probing them? Or maybe just because she's half Betazoid?
They don't necessarily need to touch them to be probed, do they? No.
No, they weren't touching anybody. Boy. They were doing it on the floor.
After the poker game.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't it be crazy if he didn't have a beard?
I think he shaved it just for that.
Yeah.
Can't. Not when we're serving on the same ship.
I mean, it could be recent.
We mustn't do this.
Oh! What? Oh, I thought she was looking at the camera.
Like, aren't you gonna do anything?
So, bro is basically Freddy Krueger.
Ooh, brother.
And he just essentially raped her in her dream.
It's a violation.
Yeah, that's a violation, all right.
I was kind of hoping that wasn't gonna be a
Councillor Troy
violation.
has fallen into a deep coma.
Oh, damn!
Oh, Jesus.
Because I was wondering, like, oh, wouldn't she remember this after? Does this guy just put everyone into a coma? He does this too?
She left the dinner last night with one of the Yulians. I'll talk to him.
Ask if they would consent to an examination, just to be certain.
They're very big on consent.
It's possible they could still be carrying a harmful organism.
He is the harmful organism.
Jev, I'm not accusing you of anything, but she mentioned feeling ill.
She seemed fine. She has a wonderful sense of humor.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of the mystery.
We have nothing to hide. If you wish to spend time examining us.
Fine, thank you.
It's like, dude, you couldn't have come off any more suspicious if you tried.
The ironic part, he can probe people's brains but not come off as, a scummy liar.
I miss you. Please don't stay away too long.
Will.
Oh, shit. Someone caught me showing emotion.
I just started thinking that. I was like, he's never had, the bonding scene with Data, I guess, but he didn't show emotion.
Not
really.
sadness.
Yeah.
Not sadness. And we didn't see, his doubtful side until Best of Both Worlds, and we've never seen his sadness side. It almost felt like Uncanny Valley, seeing him frown like that.
Yeah. Maybe, look, I love Jonathan Frakes, but maybe it's not his bag.
I will admit, yeah, it's not his bag. Whoa!
I love this dream stuff, though.
Oh, yes. Your turn. You're going into a coma.
Oh my god. If it shows up as the guy's face wearing Jordy's visor. Whoa! Alright, calm down. It's already trippy, you know.
Fire a torpedo.
I love the steam.
Yeah.
Radiation levels are critical. We've got to seal it off. She was right behind me. Bring down the door.
Because I'm assuming these things actually did happen.
Yes.
But then...
in unaired episodes, or...
but then he's, altering it.
I've got to get that isolation door down. Bring down the door. You killed her. I need you killed her.
He's gonna go into a coma. When are they gonna connect the dots that everyone talks to this guy and then goes into a coma?
Computer, locate Commander Riker.
Commander Riker is in his quarters.
On my way, sir.
And instead of Data making the save like he did in the game, Riker makes a save because you cannot probe me. It's fine. He's drunk. Oh wait, no, he's in a coma.
It was obvious with Troy what the guy changed because you know. But with Riker there, I wonder if in the real memory if he did really close the door on someone like that and he's just guilty about it.
Maybe.
It would be wise to quarantine the aliens.
There's no real evidence linking these comas with the Yulians.
True.
That's true, but there is something curious. The electropathic residue I discovered is located in the thalamus. That's the area of the cerebral cortex that involves memory function.
Boom. Done.
I've been accused of putting people to sleep with one too many stories, Captain.
I mean, no disrespect, but we are faced with an alarming situation.
Why do you suspect us, Captain?
Well, you showed up and this started happening.
What would you like? If I could do some further examinations tomorrow, perhaps monitor you during
Guess
the
who's
memory
next?
probe.
Guess who's coming back? Jack Crusher.
He kind of looks like him in the sense that he's just a generic guy. Generic haircut, no personality. No, I take it back. I'm sorry. This guy has a lot more personality.
I'd like to do a neurological workup and see if I can detect any residual effect. Dr. Martin will monitor your vital signs while I conduct the scan.
2 scenes for Rosalind. All right.
There is no indication at all of any electropathic residual.
Is that good?
Oh, you're fine, Keiko. But I am no closer to solving this mystery.
That's a Dr. Crusher classic. Like, just talk about what's wrong with the person. Oh, you're fine. Don't worry.
And the person's like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
Okay, we're going to track down any possible cause of
Like
that
this.
brain
See
pattern.
From inside the thing?
Oh, yeah.
Iracine syndrome is a cause of the electropathic pattern.
Right. Dr. Crusher already eliminated that.
Is he holding the generic school calculator, TI-84? Everyone grab a calculator.
Sensors do not routinely scan for that substance. There is no nilazine on the Enterprise.
How did I know you were going to say that?
It's like we know who it is. Come on.
Any luck?
Not so far.
I'll see you tomorrow. You don't have to do this.
His hair! He's got the Borg implant, too.
It's the least I can do.
Is that what it's supposed to be, or do you think it's supposed to, like, could it be something else?
A man like this, like this.
I have to face the fact that he's gone.
So it's Jack Crusher.
You shouldn't remember him like this.
It's good of you to come with me.
It's the least I can do.
Maybe it's not the Borg implant.
But what would it be, though?
It's the least I can do.
Or is Picard injured on the ship, so that's like a little patch on it.
Oh, okay. Wow, they brought him back.
Well, we know he wasn't doing much from acting.
Dude, a 90s fade to commercial during the screaming. Okay. I see you. No surprise that I'm really digging these sequences of the flashbacks.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
Sick bay to Captain Picard.
Picard here.
Counselor Troy has regained consciousness. She's asked for you, sir.
Oh.
I mean, that's good that she's conscious, but I wonder, like, are they usually gone by that point so he wasn't worried about it?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I was brushing my hair.
And then?
I don't know.
Why don't you
Just
get the
waking
other
up here.
guy, Julian, to make her remember?
Because they don't know which one it was. They can't trust him.
Yeah, fair.
It's almost as if it's kind of frustrating that we know who it is and they're taking all this time trying to figure it out when we know.
Well, her complaints are the same.
What is going on here?
It may be that there is some unusual effect produced by the Yulian's telepathic activity.
Oh, brother.
If you remember anything at all about what happened, I want you to tell me immediately.
This is what happens when you have 12 writers in the same room, and each one writing their own page.
You have said that she doesn't remember anything that happened before she lapsed into unconsciousness. I could retrieve that memory.
No, not you.
You may have as many people there as you need to guarantee her safety, but give us this chance to vindicate ourselves.
I know it's this guy, but what if she was in on it too? How crazy would that be?
Yeah, because
that'd be a good twist. Yeah.
Counselor, what's the last thing you remember about the other night?
Brushing my hair.
Would you get your hair brushed?
But yeah, I do remember. I wonder if he can change the memory like in real time.
What if they have like a mind battle in there?
There's no one there.
Go on.
I get some hot
Oh,
chocolate.
is he gonna frame Riker?
Something's happening.
I'm alone in my
Yeah, I was
quarters.
gonna say, the memory they're looking back on is she's just in her quarters.
Go back into that memory. You said someone was touching your hair?
Memory of a memory. Inception. Inception mentioned. Oh! No. He framed his dad. Oh.
It's Tony. It's your father.
Whew, okay. That's good.
but it is difficult to believe he'd be capable of this. I am told that the punishment for this crime is quite severe.
Come on, Picard. He suspects something.
You have my assurance he won't assault anyone else. I am sorry for this, Captain.
Love their Moon Knight costumes. Come on, buddy. Come on. You know something's wrong.
A jacket with a whole bunch of holes cut into it. Not very practical.
Before all this happened, I had hoped we might become friends.
We still can.
After what he's put you through, maybe you can forget. I'm not sure I can.
What a piece of shit.
What an asshole.
I have to go. Goodbye.
Troy senses something.
Why do you have to be so nice? So lovely.
Oh, he's just, oh God, he's uncontrollable.
What's happening?
Oh God.
Okay, nice touch to rip off the communicator.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Come on, give me the balls.
Oh!
Oh, shit! Oh! You're done. Oh, little Chris Hero punch across the face. He's lucky Worf showed mercy.
Yeah.
Okay, so they had figured it out, which I'm glad, because I was thinking, like, okay, what's the point of Troy just, he reveals it to her anyway, but they came in time to save her because they figured it out.
Yeah.
It's been 3 centuries since we treated anyone for this form of rape.
But I think no one can deny that the seed of violence remains within each of us. We must recognize that, because that violence is capable of consuming each of us.
Shout out to the drumhead. Oh, it's over.
Good depressing ending, just like Picard, Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Low-key B.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I gave this a low-key B, probably the most low-key B you can get. It just snuck in there for me because basically the whole time it was that contract filler. It was just kind of like, okay, this is an episode, but as always, I got to appreciate anytime they do something different and the unique scenarios in here of the memories that we get to see, somewhat flashbacks, but they're moments we've never seen before, and the different costumes, the different camera work. I mean, even in some of them, like in Riker's, like adjusting the pitch of the camera angle to make it look all distorted. Anytime you get to do stuff like that, it's so rare because obviously it looks ridiculous. So like getting to do that type of stuff and coming up with a reason for it, I appreciate. And thinking of this guy in the episode who violates everybody, especially Troy, obviously he's a scumbag, he's terrible, but if you think of him from like the Freddy Krueger aspect, he doesn't have any of the charm or anything like that of
Robert Englund?
Robert Englund, thank you. So I'm not giving him that praise, but just the actual storyline itself, it did give kind of another horror-esque vibe for an episode. So just those elements basically are what put it in that B category, because there wasn't anything necessarily in this episode that like really detracted for me. It was always just that baseline. Those elements just kind of snuck it in. Also, real quick, obviously, change of clothes. I watched the episode again. It's been about a week since we watched it.
Yeah, I knew we were recording today. You texted me, you ready to talk about violations? I'm like, I forgot we didn't talk about it.
But it's my fault because when we were done watching it, you were good to talk about it, and I was like, let's just wait till... I didn't have it in me. I'm like, let's just wait till next week.
No worries. Yeah, I gave this one a C, and I think you know why I gave it a C. There's a certain aspect of what our other characters are doing that are not directly involved in the story. Mainly Data and Geordi trying to figure something out that we already we already know. I mean, the way they figured it out was kind of neat. How they figured out that the trio wasn't always together as a trio. Whenever there was people in comas on other planets, it was just Jev. Yeah, it was. I remembered his name. Well, I looked it up earlier. But it was just Jev there, and that's how they're able to figure it out. My question is, in a way, I kind of understand. Are none of them able to look inwards at each other, probe each other? If Tarmac or whatever, Tarnan, whatever his name is, was able to go, hey, I mean, this is ridiculous. This hasn't happened in centuries, is what he said. But he never thought for a second, my son, he's kind of fucked up. He's kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
I know, I get it. It's your family. You don't want to, accuse him of anything. But just like, let me come here. Let me just look at some things in the past, like the episode where Riker and whoever else gets cloned, and it's very illuminative or very similar to like, oh, you just, basically, raped Riker and took his DNA. And this episode, fuck it. We're not going to sugarcoat it, for any audience. What happened was rape. So I got to give the show credit for that. Like, we're not going to sugarcoat this or dress it up as, oh, it's a metaphor for the Cold War. No, it's like,
damn.
This is rape. So I got to give the show credit for that.
And the fact that, especially in the Troy sequence, like they show, I mean, it doesn't get graphic or anything, but they pretty intensely show it to where if I was a kid and I liked Star Trek and this came on, I'd have been like, whoa, like they would have been, not scared me necessarily, but it would have been like pretty disturbing. And then, or even as an adult, like you're used to this show, watching it every week, pretty family friendly show. And then for that to happen, I respect it because it's a serious subject matter. And while I'm kind of appreciating the technical sides of it, I do think for the most part, they handle the subject matter pretty well. It's not a huge part of the story because it takes all of our characters so long to find out that we just get that one scene at the end. I think that's why they didn't probe each other. All three of these characters that play this alien race have no thoughts that it's any of them. They're in such strong denial of it that I think that's why they wouldn't have even probed each other if that's possible. Plus,
I was wondering, did they ever say that they couldn't?
I wonder if the other person would be aware of it too, because they both have the power. So I don't know how that would work. Interesting thought. But I think that I want to start just from the beginning in terms of I think this is a great hook up right until the end of it. So the opening scene with Keiko, you brought up, Chief isn't even in this episode.
He's not even in. We haven't seen him since what, Disaster? He's been gone for a bit.
Yeah, and Keiko's having this memory, and it's like, this is the perfect opening for a Star Trek episode. It's a sci-fi premise. You have these aliens here probing into one of our characters' memories, but it's a very, like, calm, easygoing memory about her as a kid trying to remember what this cup was, and thinking it's like tea at first, but then no, it's for painting, and this alien is helping her discover this. And it's just a nice little opening that it feeds into what's about to happen in the episode. But I wish this is what Star Trek kind of was at this point. We've had some discussions recently in the Bridge Crew Discord about the differences between TOS and TNG, and how like TNG, a lot of the times I'm just like, can we just hang out with the characters? And like scenes like this give you that little window into it of like what's going on the Enterprise. And then he even says to Beverly, which sets up the episode perfectly in my opinion, oh, you're thinking of that childhood kiss. You want to go into that? And the other guy, Jev, who ends up being the evil one, is like, you can't probe people's memories without their permission. And he's like, oh, I know, but when it comes to beautiful women, I can't help myself. And like that right there would have set it up to where you think it's him. But then for some reason, they have to end the hook with Jev then sitting down after everyone leaves and just menacingly looking to the camera. And that's like the biggest flaw of this whole thing.
Yeah.
It wants you to know it's Jev right away. Even before the thing with Troy happens, he's talking to her on the turbo lift. Great scene. The actors have great chemistry. Marina Sirtis is like, this season has been going up and up for me. Her best season thus far. And she tells a funny joke. She leaves a turbo lift, and then all of a sudden he's just, all slimy. The score. And then it goes to the next scene like, okay. So it's like it really wanted to make him this goofy villain before he even does anything. I think if they'd stripped that stuff away and kept it a mystery, big shocker, kept it a mystery, we probably would have even bought into it being this guy, the older guy, and been surprised. But that's not the story they wanted to tell, whatever.
Would have been even better if it ended up being the mom.
Yeah,
Where it's like a second, oh, it could be Jeff, and then it's actually the mom, yeah. How about, how much, I talk about how much Data has gone through. How about Troy? She's had a kid, lost it. She's, been basically raped here, the loss, like, things keep happening to her.
Yeah.
Like, gee,
I think that's a unfortunate part of not really knowing what to do with her character from the writing aspect. So they're like, oh, we don't know what to do. Trauma. Make her cry, and that's one of the parts where, yeah, she's great at the emotional acting, but it's like, I just like her in the previous episodes just talking to Worf, being a counselor without it being empathic. Or even when it's empathic, it's still good. But then it's like, oh, no, you just have to do stuff to her. I think it comes off differently when it's like Worf, who's a Klingon, or Data, who has no emotion. It's very interesting to see it from that perspective. Troy is half Betazoid, but for all intents and purposes, she essentially is human. The way she acts is human. So it just comes off like you're traumatizing this character, probably because she's a woman, and it's easy to put her through stuff. I guess
easy to sympathize for.
Yeah.
But I would say it's half and half. It's not like it's not all just trauma to Troy. I mean, she has her great moments as well in episodes like Disaster, for sure. But what else about this episode? Yeah, I will say I will praise whenever it did do those flashbacks type stuff, that '90s TV horror movie type stuff. I'm like, oh, this is wonderful. Patrick Stewart with hair and his little injury pad that I thought was the Borg add-on, but it wasn't, and all that sort of stuff. My favorite part is when they're probing. When Jev is probing Troy, kind of fake probing her. Oh, who is it? Who did it? Oh, it's Riker. Oh, I know. It's just the dad.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. But all that horror movie stuff was just fantastic. And that scene when Riker, I don't know if it's actually true or not, but he let that person die because he had to close the door on him. Very stuff you got to have happen in this line of duty, I guess. But I just love seeing that it's a scene that happened that we've never seen. Like, oh yeah, stuff is always happening on this ship that we don't see sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, isn't there like a cute scene at the beginning when after Keiko does her mind probe, then they go to Riker? Oh, how about you, Riker? Any mind probes? Like, oh no, thanks.
Yeah, he's like, not any I'd like to share publicly.
Yeah, love it. Love those little moments like that. There's like 4 or 5 writers, or there's 2 like teleplay writers and 2 like story writers for this one. I believe it was this one when the credits popped up. We did the wall joke, huh? Yeah.
Do you remember who the director was?
I have it written down. Director Robert Reimer, who directed such episodes as Who Watches the Watchers from season 3, and also Data's Day.
Oh, okay.
Season 4, yeah. So this is his one and only of season 5, I believe, and he will come back.
It makes sense, so that of those 3 episodes, none of them are like traditional from a camera. Like, you have them beaming down to the planet, being a different species, and Who Watches the Watchers. The Data's Day obviously is a kind of a different episode here, so it makes sense. That's kind of his gimmick so far. He's not doing a lot of static shot type stuff, but I did really like all of these sequences outside of the Troy one when it came to the flashback nightmares. You brought up the kind of the 90s horror feel. I loved it is cliche, so I'll say it, cliched, like Beverly and hers, with Jack Crusher. They brought back the actor for that. As much as I hated that actor, it's continuity. It's cool that they brought him back, and then, his eyes opening, and then she bumps into Jev, and she's like, ah, as she's screaming, fades to black. I'm like, that's like, I feel like I'm a kid watching Goosebumps or something, right? In a good way, it's like, that's great. And then the Riker one you already mentioned, I liked how they showed all these, because when it was just the Troy one, I'm like, okay, that's obviously terrible. But I'm thinking to myself, he's not going to go around raping everyone, I presume. So, what are these other ones going to be? And so I'm glad we got to see each one have a different one that fits for them. Got to throw a shout out to Picard in a wig. Why? I guess he had hair back then. Why did he go bald? Because he was presumably already pretty adult and old at that. I mean, I know it can happen at any point in your life, I guess, but it just felt kind of weird that it was like, now I have hair.
Yeah, he had this very similar to my color hair, just a little brighter. Yeah, very, very weird to see. Very weird. And
Beverly had straightened hair to make her look different.
Yeah.
Leather jacket on, I'm pretty sure.
I like that bridge set they were walking on, and they walked over on the balcony, and then there's the body and the casket there.
Yeah. So all the different stuff, just even the audio too, where they'd be repeating the audio in a dreamlike sense, with Troy was like, Imzadi, we can't. And then in the Beverly one, the Beverly one, you shouldn't see him like this. Very dreamlike. The sequences are really good, really well done. Outside of that, though, yeah, it's tough to watch that Troy scene, and the whole episode just kind of feels gross because of it. I do think they handled it well. I'll be interested what the patrons have to say about that aspect. But it's not one I'm like, ooh, let's throw on Violations. It's not fun. Night Terrors.
Yeah, this would not be the one I would show, hey, you got to check this out.
Yeah.
I think one of the writers also worked on Night Terrors, I think, so that makes sense. I do like Maria Sirtis acting when she finally puts it together and she's able to, her face comes close, it was you, and then they're fighting or whatever, and then Worf opens the door, just one punch down, there you go, Worf.
Yeah, and Worf's holding back even in that moment because he could just destroy that guy's jaw. He should have.
I just wanted to, just one of those.
Yeah, and I guess it was, in the moment I said it when we were watching, but it was, I guess, good that the B plot, because at first I'm like, why did we go through all this screen time for them to find out, just for Troy to find out first? For him to literally just reveal it to her, but then they come in and save her from being attacked again.
Yeah.
So, it lines up.
Just not as well executed as the one where Data figures... What episode? The one where Geordi gets probed by the Romulans.
Yeah,
the one
that
where
was the Mind's Eye.
The Mind's Eye, where Data is figuring it out, and we get that very tense scene where Data's rushing to go save the day.
Rushing with his brisk walk.
With this very brisk walk, yeah. I have it perfectly timed where I would arrive.
Yeah, and he has, Worf, that is an order,
Yeah,
or lieutenant or whatever he says.
Yeah, that was executed much better done. Better done. Well, with editing, music, but when it happened here, it was just such a drag watching Geordi and Data try to figure this out.
Especially when it's one of your biggest hated things of, we already know what's going on, and
it's just, no matter, it's not just Star Trek, it's every piece of media. It just happened with me with Nosferatu. It happens in everything. There's
we talked about this over text, you do not like dramatic irony, knowing something the characters don't, if it's like them figuring it out. Like, it's okay to not know it if we get to see like the result of like the shenanigans, but I don't need to see them poring over the information and trying to figure it out step by step. That doesn't make me feel entertained or really anything. I'm just bored.
Yeah, no, I'm supposed to go on the roller coaster with the characters here. It's not fun for me to be on the back seat, spectating. Like, would you watch a football game if you knew the answer? I mean, maybe
know the score. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if it was a great game, but if I knew like the outcome of the game, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. I mean, movies have rewatchability, of course. TV shows have rewatchability, but in terms of us watching these for the first time, I want to feel that roller coaster of emotion and like, or that mystery, and feel that those emotions and conflicts with them. Not go, oh, well,
yeah, and
maybe they'll figure it out soon.
There are good ways to do it. I mean, we've praised episodes like Allegiance or even In the Mind's Eye.
It can be done well.
Yeah, it can be done well, and the fact that like Geordi was hypnotized in that, it was just a part of the overall story, and people had to figure out that part. But here, who raped Troy? That's the whole story. So just like watching Data and Geordi try to figure that out when we already know, it's just, you talk about contract filler, that's screen time filler, that's 44-minute filler. It's like we don't have enough scenes to fill up there, so we have us figuring it out. But I just at least appreciated that it did connect back at the end. They gave it a reason. But
yeah, and the way they figured it out was like, oh, well, that makes sense. But it's like, you have 5 minutes left on TOS, guys, and and you need this. It's like, come on, man, come on, guys.
Okay, well, they gave this an overwhelming C.
Yeah.
It is a bit split, though, so they got 37% C, but 23% B and D. Both got 23, 2% S, 7% A, and I think what might be a record, 7% E.
Is that the highest E we've ever seen?
I think so. All
right, I guess first one from HR here. Yeah, I'll see your dead body sitting up in the cargo bay scene, and I'll raise you Dr. Crusher's mental rape scene. If Memory Alpha is correct, I was 13 when this first aired on UK TV, and even now, 30 years later, I'm shaking just typing this.
Wow, well that seems pretty positive then from them. Must be one of those S or A votes. Great scene.
Oh yeah.
Possibly the best of the episode, and very similar to Night Terrors, where she bumps into something. Ah! Very similar.
Yeah.
Here's one from Evan. I think this is going to be a pretty standard take, probably from most patrons here. He says, too weird for me. Maybe you'll enjoy parts of it, but I can't get behind this one. And that's basically exactly how I feel. I enjoy parts of it, those sequences, and the opening. The story itself was just kind of middling, so I get it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say too weird, but I will agree with that. I can't get behind this one. Yeah, I wouldn't say weird. I wouldn't say frustrating. Uncomfortable, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, Prof. Moff, very similar, says right here, very disturbing and uncomfortable, but a solid one. I think that's about where we're at as
Combine those two comments, and you're with me there.
And he also followed up, Prof. Moff is the creator and runner of the sex scoreboard, and he clarified, there will not be a sex scoreboard entry for this episode.
I'm gonna give that a heart right now.
Yeah, fair enough. Frog A says, Josh's favorite actor returns. His wooden acting really comes in handy here portraying dead Jack.
That was the one I was going to read.
Oh, that's good. Good callback, Frog A. That's great.
That's why they brought him back.
We got to get this guy.
Oh, that's an interesting one from Darren Wagner. Troy Must Suffer episode. Keep in mind that Roddenberry originally cast her for the part of Tasha Yar because of her celebrated work in movies playing rape assault victims. Death Wish 3, Blind Date, and The Wicked Lady. This was sort of her niche back then.
Oh.
I mean,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, horrible thing to be typecast as.
Also, imagine, though, how weird it would have been if she was Tasha Yar. First of all, she would have died. Well, no, she wouldn't want to leave the show. That would have just... different history altogether.
Well,
but,
I can't picture Marina Sirtis as Tasha Yar.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, that's... It'd be kind of odd, but who knows?
Get down! Security! Get over here! I've seen a couple comments here with that Troy must suffer thing, so I'm glad I brought that up, that all these things are happening to Troy. I'm glad I caught onto that.
It must be a meme within the community. John 1701 said, "Adrift in an ocean of bland season 5 episodes. Send help. See." Yeah, it hasn't been the strongest run since Unification. I mean, we had the Jim Carrey episode, and then these last 3, I feel like all of them are kind of the same in the sense of, like, I know you really like the Data one with the kid more than me, but, like, I liked a lot of things about a lot of these last few episodes, but none of them, to me, have really got me out of that, middling range. So, which is surprising. There are people who say every season is their favorite season, but there were people that said this one is their favorite. I'm guessing there's some bangers to come. I'm hoping. There have been some. Redemption 2. Hard to live up to.
It's hard. That's hard to live up to, man. Hard to live up to. All right, this one's from Gregory Foster. The best parts of the episode were Geordi and engineering searching for clues about the weird brain patterns, Data on the bridge analyzing the logs, and Worf leveling up and one-shotting Jev. I'm going to quote Adam Sandler from Uncut Gems. I disagree. I disagree, except for the end about Worf. But the first 2 parts about Geordi and Data, I'm sorry, I can't.
All right, well, I'll read one of the defectors. It's a little bit of a long take, but when you're a defector, yeah, you can get away with that. This is from Scotchbeard78. "Oh man, judging by people's scores, I guess I'm just that freak that enjoys the dark or campy episodes. Yeah, it's for sure a problematic horror story, but I mean, those situations are horrific. The Troy Riker one being particularly awful, obviously. I get that plenty of people feel like we shouldn't even depict sexual assault for risk of being disrespectful, but I don't feel like they shot it in an, oh, isn't this kind of sexy way that a worse TV show definitely would have. Maybe in the end, it's just that degree too dark for TNG, but it's very effective. And the most evil part of it to me is how it's a perversion of a genuine moment of intimacy from their past. Anyway, I love the Jack Crusher Morgue Carnival Ride 1, and my best friend and I still sometimes just shout at each other, 'Keller's still in there!' Pure TNG camp," about the one that Riker left in the room.
That's 2 for Riker with random shouts. Data, something's got me.
Yeah, I actually really agree with this take, and I am not of the mind. I don't think there's anything that should not be depicted. It's all a matter of, guess what? Execution, right? You can depict the worst stuff, and if it comes out, if it comes off like you don't care at all, or you're using this for exploitation or just like whatever, like then yeah, it's bad. But if you do something well and depict it well for the purposes of, education or putting a spotlight on something, I think, you could try to come up with an example. I don't know if you have anything that you feel like would be off the table. Like I've said before, the death or harm of like young children really gets to me. But I wouldn't even say that should never be depicted. I think like a movie like Hereditary or other examples, do benefit from depicting that in a, not positive, but in a way that helps what they're trying to get across. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Nothing's off the table here, especially in, land of the free, home of the brave. If everything's done well and I wouldn't say in taste, but not crazy amounts, but everything. We live in America, all right? But no, yeah, everything should be able to be put out there as long as it's not ridiculous. Like, there's horrible things in the world, and there's stories to be told about it, and they need to be told. There's a lot of things where, I don't know, similar to The Color Purple, I guess, where it's like, great movie, but boy, is it hard to watch. Like, the world needs stuff like that to be like, hey, look at this.
Yeah. Now, if the argument is, okay, that's fine, but I just don't want to watch that like while I'm just trying to watch Star Trek, like I totally get that perspective.
I get it.
But I mean, for us, particularly, like this is a journey. We're going through watching all of it. I want to be challenged. I don't want to watch, episode after episode of the same thing. Otherwise, we would just like go watch a sitcom or something. As much as we joke about just wanting to hang out with the characters, I don't want Star Trek to be Seinfeld. Like I don't want it to be a sitcom because, then it's like, what's the point? I feel like Star Trek can offer more. So I don't want things to be off limits from it.
As horrible as it sounds, I want these characters to be put in the most challenging, horrible situations to see what they come on the other side of it and see how they're pushed forward. For example, everything Worf went through, like him, being so I want to be a Klingon, him making the choice to take the fall have his father take the fall, and then coming out the other side of that, not even want, I'm going to go back to the Enterprise, like all those, rivers and valleys and nooks and all that to push the character forward. I love seeing that. Seeing them at their lowest to go higher. Do I want to see everyone get raped every season? No.
Yeah.
But just there's different ways to tell that.
Yeah, I guess where I would end on it is it's not a matter of I wanted this to happen or I want anything to happen in particular. It's just, okay, what's the subject material they're including? Okay, let's see what they do with it. Like, I'm just open-minded. If this I thought was terribly handled, like Scotch Beard said there, like, oh, isn't this kind of sexy? Like, if it was handled poorly, I would be the first one to call it out and be like, this is handled poorly. But I thought, for the most part, I mean, people could disagree. I don't think anyone is even really saying it was handled poorly from what I read. And I think it was more so just like, I don't want to watch that. And like that I understand. I just have a little bit of a different, mindset for it, I guess, for this show specifically.
Yeah, nothing was sugar-coated. It's like, this is it. Yeah, if they made it sexy, that'd be really weird. How would they do that? Ooh, I don't even want to know.
Season 5 we persevere. Josh and Alex chart the skies, warping forward as chaos flies. Riker's grin, a battle cry. Crusher's brilliance lights the sky. Data's mind a beacon bright. TNG builds a deadly spike. Shields up high, we're breaking through. Phasers charge, our aim is true. Floodlight twist, the fire ignites. Boldly onward into the night. Warp factor, chaos engine scream. A voyage built on starlit dream. Through fire and flame, the cosmos bends. The Enterprise flies, the journey ascends. Warp factor, chaos hearts collide. With every laugh, the stars align. Boldly they go, no end in sight. Season 5 takes flight. Canthys fall to scorching critique. Virtue speeches reach their peak. Holodeck worlds in turmoil turn. Lessons taught and bridges burned. Finder's gift, a master's hand. The gods command, the voice that stands. Through the madness, one truth remains. TNG courses through our veins. Warping fast, the time is near. Stories clashes, chaos steers. Engines roar, the stars ignite. Boundless journeys, endless fight. Warp factor, chaos engines scream. A voyage built on starlit dreams. The fire and flame, the cosmos bends. The Enterprise flies, the journey ascends. Warp factor, chaos hearts collide. With every laugh, the stars align. Boldly they go, no end in sight. Season 5 takes flight. A voyage built on starlit dreams.